Welcome back. So I promised to talk about unfortunate things happening to pet pets on Neopets, because there's quite a lot of that. What I remember, oh look at those physics on that arrow. What I remember is that there are multiple games, in particular, that you could play, flash games, where the explicit goal of the game was to do rather horrendous things to pet pets. The two in particular stick out to me. Not that Neopets themselves were spared from a amount of pretty terrible things. I mean, there were lots of wars and whatnot on Neopets. And there was one trading card where you got a delightful image of the darkest area, I think it was, burning up Neopet alive to the point of like eviscerating them and only their skull being left, yet still on fire. What are you doing? I don't think an arrow or fire would really work against something made of rock, but whatever. I think a hammer would make more sense. Okay, so it's not really a boss, it's just a new kind of enemy. But there are minigames like Feed Forward, where the explicit goal was to feed a bunch of pet pets to a mutant Chia named Ford. And some of them, as they ran around, would actually... I mean, they did not want to be there. They would be... The Hazies in particular would actually be crying as they tried to run away to not get eaten. It was quite the idea for a game. And then... Oh, that's a thing trying to kill me. Could you not be ranged, please? I'm doing more damage to the bow right now, as disconcerting as that is. I guess I'll keep using it. And he also had, what was it? Snow Beach Sacrifice too, which was you. So the story I think was that you're in a village up on Terror Mountain, which is a like big tundra place. I'm trying to realign the map here. It's basically the North Pole. Can I not get like perfectly aligned upwards? There we go. Oh, you have some longer range than I thought. And you move oddly quickly for a statue. Magic potions I don't use because I regain magic so fast. Go away. There you go. But you were from some village there, and there's this this creature in a nearby cave that I don't know if it puts a curse on you or something like that, or if it's just threatening to come and eat everyone in the village or what, but the whole idea being, I wish I had some splash damage I could deal right now. That would be really helpful. One thing is I can't block with a bow, can I? No. I guess that's one reason to use magic. I don't need to be in this menu. Tender coconut meat. It's not really what I think of, but okay. Carrot. We have multiple carrots. We have a lot of grapes, actually. Fine. Apparently everything heals 35 now, which feels like overkill when that's all my HP. I just don't have much HP. But, so the idea is that you need to appease this creature. And to do so, it's weird how much those mushrooms stick out. You feed it pet pets. So the idea is that you want to feed this. Can I actually just do something like this? Yeah, maybe. That might be better. So essentially you're just throwing a bunch of pet peps into this cave to feed them to the creature. But the especially ridiculous thing is that the one trying to impede you on your quest supposed to hurt me? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that hurt me, alright. There you go. The one trying to impede you, or the ones, is in fact the Pet Protection League. It's basically PETA. Your opponents are PETA, and they are trying to block you throwing pets into this cave. So it's basically like a shootout where the PPL people are the goalkeepers. Oh, why aren't you shooting? And you just have to manage to hunt the pets back behind them into the cave. And you're doing so in like the dozens. Neopets had all sorts of messed up stuff, and it's all actually in a weird way something that I kind of fondly remember about it. Other things you wouldn't expect to really show up on like a kid's site, like all the gambling. Like I learned about all sorts of gambling in that. Like well, arguably in one sense the stock market. Especially since in that game, the stock market is truly random for the most part. It doesn't actually it's not tied to real world events of any sort. So you can't really predict when things are going to go up, when things are going to go up or down. I wonder how much that hurts if it falls on you. I shouldn't melee those guys. Ow, that's why. That's actually hurt me a lot in a second, isn't it? No, not necessarily. What are you doing? I think I'm auto-aiming at something. Why do you have range attacks now? I really wish I could do more damage to things. This is a pain. But you also had, you kind of had slots. I mean, some of these things were things that would usually benefit you quite clearly, to the point where it was actually limited how often you could participate in these things, because the odds were so heavily in your favor. But other things, like, you had dog races, they were specifically poodle races, and you had, like, Keno, stuff like that, actual gambling games, and they were about as fair as any other, kind of gambling, and you know what, funnily enough, Neopets is what convinced me to never gamble, because I did not find that stuff fun in the slightest. I played a few rounds of Keno and I thought, you know, how are you ever going to score anything in this? So I said, you know what, no thanks. I'm done. I don't think I ever actually even managed to place a winning bet on a pool race either. So much for corrupting the minds of children. This shows them how, at least in my case, how unfun it really is. But, I don't know, maybe if you've got a more gambling-oriented, inclined personality, it might have the opposite effect. Not for me, at least. What do you stop at? Hi. I'll just take the sword to you. They seem to have some kind of resistance to the sword. So I'm just probably estimating how much damage it does. It's 3 to 9, so it should do more than it does, I think. I mean, it doesn't look like its element. It doesn't look like there's a difference between sword or hammers in terms of the type of damage they do. It looks like it's just damage. You don't have different, like, weapon types as far as damage is concerned, like cutting versus piercing or whatever. I could see if I do more damage with this. With this hammer. Whoops. Hold up. There. Of course, I prefer not die first of all. I don't do more damage with the hammer. You would think beating a bird with a hammer would hurt a little bit, but at least a little bit more. I think this might have some amount of auto-aim that helps me. Which is nice. Not as much as I would like. Scorch. So is that actually better in any way than what I already have? Maybe? I mean, it doesn't say I need a higher level or anything. What makes sense of it was better for me. Let's go back on our food because we might need that soon. Quick items. So, let's try Scorch Iron. It certainly looks more interesting. Doesn't say anything different. It's shorter range, I notice. So it's more short range magic. Oh! Okay. So that does damage over time. Okay, I get it now. Okay, so we're getting to some more interesting stuff now, I think. Yeah, could you be filled in, please? Thank you. To make it stop looking like there's more stuff there. That's an interesting idea. Especially for enemies with more HP, that could certainly help, I think. Is there more that I wanted to say on topic of Neopets and being kind of messed up? I could comment more if I had to. Let's not die real quick. More grapes. What? No. You gotta have variety in your diet. Carrot. Can you block with the hammer? Yes. Okay. Looks like this is gonna break up later or something like that. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Nice stock sound. Another juicy blood stem. I don't think it sounds like that's for a pet. I don't think I've seen it yet. Ooh. Hi guys. Range attack's the most annoying thing in this game. Hey, could you take damage while I'm dealing with this other guy? Thank you. Hey. Jeez. I know I'm being a little dumb here with how direct I'm being, but... Could you... Jeez. Running out of magic here, too. These guys have a lot of life, though. Melee is not the smartest thing against these guys, I know, but... Well, of course I should probably then do this. There. The thing is, I can hit enemies pretty consistently from afar in melee, but then they can also hit me. Could I stand on that? Oh, is that a box? I guess it is. Oh, okay. I don't remember that being an item in the game. Straight up grenades. Oh yes, the best magic. Explosives. Decent amount of damage, but I like the muffin. I don't see how... I can never... at least my magic comes back. There's just a limit on how often I use it. But fully consumable items, I just never end up using. That's why I tend not to do magic. Hey, I'm trying to... Hold on. Forgetting the controls. I've got this to worry about as well. That's kind of amusing, but not really that cool in reality. Ew. Can I learn some healing magic at some point? I wish I could have heard that thing die. Things don't make sound unless they're very close to you in this game. Okay, this looks like a place that... And the entrance here looks kind of nice to where it might not be. Yeah, they're not going to kill me in here, maybe. See you next time. We'll see if they kill me.